Hello everyone, today we have a delicious class. We start a new chapter, chapter 13. Go to the page 249 and let's start the class now. Okay, first, what is this our lesson? Lesson 13.1 fractional parts and lesson 13.2 unit fractions. Those are the pages. First we're going to see the fractional part and then the unit fraction, the definition, some example, and we finish with the assignment that you have to complete in your math book. Okay, first, the unit. What is a unit? A unit is just a whole thing. For example, I have this polygon. This is a unit because it's complete. Something that is completed, that is something whole. And now we need to know a fraction. If you know what is a unit, now we can explain you what is a fraction. Fraction is a part of the figure or a set of things. For example, they have a circle, and a circle, if I divide by different parts, in this case of 4 parts, every part is a fraction of a unit. And a fraction that's not only for one part of the figure, could be a part of a set of things from the same figure, or could be a different figure. In this case, if I ask you from these 7 moons, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I have 7. From the 7th moons, how many yellow moons do I have? On this case, I have telling you fraction 2 or 7th parts. In this case, remember, and when you have a fraction, the denominator, this is the number below, the denominator is always ending in ordinal numbers, and in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all that are ordinals, and the denominator is always in ordinal. Okay, that's another example for not a single figure or a whole figure. These are different figures. For example, what part of the set is not orange? I have a set. This set, I need to tell what is not orange. But first you need to know how many are in total. The set has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. And they're not in orange because they asked me for not orange. Is 1 over 7th. 1/7. Okay, let's try with the second. What part of the set is not orange again? How many do I have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have one more. Okay, they're not in orange, are not in orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is in the numerator, and the denominator tell you how many are in total. Are 8. Remember 8. In this case are 6 over 8. That's good. Now let's do the next. The example, what part of the set is red? Okay, in this case we need to know how many are in total. In total 5, and only 2 are red. The fraction is 2 over 5. But remember, the denominator is ordinal. Let's correct. 2 over 5th. Okay, that's good. Very good. I told you the set is not to be the same figure, could be different figures. My set has circle and triangles, and I need to know what part of the set are circles. Okay, there are 7 in total, and 4 of the 7 are circles. My fraction is 4/7. Very good. The last. Okay, what part of the set are dogs? Oh, let's count how many. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. And dogs are 4. 4 over 9. Okay, very good. That's how to write a fraction with using sets. Sets are something. Could be remember a fraction for a thing or a figure. Now a unit fraction. A unit fraction, we are on page 251. That's another lesson, 13.2. And what is a unit fraction? Remember, a whole thing is the white figure, and a fraction, it's one part of this. But the unit fraction, on this case, yeah, this is just one single part. And how to recognize a unit fraction? We recognize a unit fraction because the fraction in the numerator has number 1, like this. The numerator is the number below at the top, and the denominator is the number under the line you have there. What you have the fraction, remember how to name this 1/9. The ordinals are in the denominator. You normally the cardinal, you tell the cardinal numerator like 1, 2, 3, but the denominator you have to tell it like ordinal. You have to use in ordinal numbers. Okay, the denominator tells you how many are in the whole group, or the unit, how many parts you divide. The numerator tells what part of the whole group we are talking about. Okay, the fractional part, if you see every single slide of pizza, all are fractional part or unit parts. Why unit? Because has one in the numerator. That's a unit fraction. The whole thing or the whole pizza has all the unit parts. But what happens when you add okay, in this case, how to identify a unit fraction? Remember, have 4 whole pizzas, and the first, let's suppose we divide the pizza in 2 equal parts. In fraction, how to write this? A fraction, the unit fraction, remember, the numerator you have to write number 1, and the denominator in how many parts is divide the pizza. Okay, in this case, the pizza is divided in 2 parts, and the unit fraction is the number 1 in the numerator, and the number 2 represent how many parts is divided. Now here, let's suppose the pizza we divide in 4 equal parts. The unit is going to the numerator, and the how many parts is divided, you have to write in the denominator. Okay, then example number 3. The whole pizza we divided in 4 parts, and a unit fraction, remember, the number 1 is always at the top, and the denominators is how many parts divide the whole thing, are divided in 4 parts. The next example, the pizza divided in 3 equal parts. The unit fraction, this could be one unit fraction, another unit fraction, this another unit fraction. My unit fraction on this case is 1/3. Okay, 1/3, 1/2, 1/8, 1/4, and 1/3. That's a unit fraction. Remember, the numerator is always number 1. That represents a unit fraction. A unit fraction, this is another example for a unit fraction. Remember, if you take one part of this, the unit fraction is 1, in this case, over 9, 1/9. And what happened if I not take only one slice of pizza? I took, let me see, on this case, 1/9, 2/9, 3/9. Okay, in this case, the 3/9 represent, we're going to add 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/9. In total are 3/9. Very good. Next example. My whole pizza divided in 9 parts, but I'm not gonna take 3 slices of pizza. I'm going to eat more. 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/9, another, and another pizza. Okay, I took 5. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/9. Very good. Another example. I almost ate the entire pizza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7/9, because the number 9 is the total of slice of the parts that divided the whole thing. Okay, what fraction to show what part of the pizza has gone. For example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and my pizza in this case are 8 parts, dividing in 8 slices. Okay, my example is 4 over 8. 4 eighths. Good. The next example, my pizza is divided in, let me see how many parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts. And I only took, there are left 2 slices of the 5. 2 over 5, or 2/5. Okay, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 3 all the total of 4. 3 over 4, or 3/4. In this case, I took half of the pizza. How to represent half of the pizza? 1 over 2. 1/2. Like this. Okay. And what would happen if I take all the parts, all the slices of the pizza? For example, if I divide into pizza, if I take the 2 halves, how many represent like a fraction? Okay, in this case, 2 over 2. Okay, let's do the next. And the next, I divided in 8 slices, and I took the 8 slices too. Okay, the total is 8 over 8. Okay, let's try to do the next one. The next one, I have the pizza divided in 4 equal parts, and I take the 4. How to represent a fraction as a fraction? It's 4 over 4. Okay, and the last, I divide in 3 equal parts, and I took the 3 slices. I have 3 over 3. What have all of this in common? That I ate the entire pizza. So I have the whole unit. 2 over 2, it's equal to have 1. 8 over 2 is a unit. 4 over 4 is a unit too. And 3 over 3 is the entire pizza. All of this, the same number in the numerator and the denominator, it's equal to have a unit. Okay, I'm going to explain something that's on page 252. Let's do some problems at the top of the page. Let's start with the problem number 1. And the problem number 1 on page 252, that's, let me see. We need to find the part of 1/5 of 60. What we need to do on this case? Okay, on this case, remember this is a whole 60 and a fraction with 1/5. How many represent on this case? Let's do this. You only have to multiply 1/5. You need to multiply times 60, putting 1 in denominator of a whole number, and you need to multiply it like this. 1 times 60, 60. And now 5 times 1, 5. And we need to divide 60.
Here's 1/5. There's another 1/5, another 1/5.
Okay,
and the last 1/5. All of this represent 1/5.
How many times 5 and 6? Just 1 time, like this. Subtract 1. That's going down, and you have 10. How many times 5 is in 20? 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Reminder 0. Okay, excellent. Now my answer on this case is 12. Remember, the quotient is your answer. 12 is your answer. Remember again, 1/5 of 60 is
a total only by 12 parts. It's like you have a, remember the 60, you have a unit, the unit 60, the unit 60 is divided in 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little ugly, but it's a 5 equal parts. And each part you have 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. In total makes 60. That represents your answer. 60 is divided by 5, so each part is 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, and another 1/5. And now let's do another. Let's do the number 3. This is the number 3 in the same page, 252. And 1/9 of 63. That means that 63 you divide it in 9 parts. Okay, remember what I told you what to do? You have to put a 1 here and multiply. 1 times 63 is 63. 9 times 1 is 9. Now you need to divide. You need to divide 63 divided by 9. How many parts are how many times 9 is in 63? 7 times. 7 times 9, 63. Reminder 0. You have a whole answer here, a whole number. The portion is 7. Okay, let's do the last problem. This is the number 8, the same page, 252. And let's do the number 8, 1/4 of 96. Remember what you have to do, put 1 over the whole and multiply. 1 times 96 is 96. 4 times, you have to put in 1 times. 4 times 1 is 4. You need to divide 96. Let's divide 96 here. 96 divided by 4. And 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract 1. Now let's put this down. 4 times 4 is 24. Your answer is 24. It's a whole answer. Okay, and that's it. I think you understand at this moment, and keep working. Let's solve this word problem. And that's easy. Just have to first read and identify the parts. Jean had $24. She spent 1/4 of it. How much money does she have left? Okay, we need to know 1/4 of $24. Remember how to solve this? 1/4, you need to multiply times 4. You have to write 1 over the whole number and multiply. 1 times 24 is 24. And 4 times 1 is 4. If we divide 24 divided by 4 is 6. And that's my answer, 6. Let's do the same for the next problem. Mr. Timmer brought 4 cookies to school. Mr. Thomas' class ate 1/2 of the cookies. How many cookies are left? Okay, we want to know 1/2 of 40 is. Remember, 1/2 multiplied times 40, the whole number. You write 1 over the whole number and now multiply. 1/4 40. 1 times 40 is 40. 2 times 1 is 2. And divide. 40 divided by 2. 2 times 4. Subtraction 0 and is 20. Answer on this case is 20. That's it.
Remember, a unit fraction is because its numerator it's 1. For example, 1/6, 1/6. Yeah. Let's have an example. If all this pizza that I have here is divided in 10 parts. If I only take one slice of pizza, I have 1/10. If I take another pizza, 3 slices, I have 3/10. If I don't know how many parts, but it looks so delicious. Okay, the next pizza here. If I take the pizza 5, it's almost the half pizza. I take 5/10. That's equal that I ate the half pizza. Yes, it is. 5/10. It's equal to half 1/2. In the next case, remember all this pizza has 10 parts. If I took the 7 of the 10 parts, that is the fraction that represent. And the next, if I take 10/10, that's mean I took the entire pizza. That's mean the unit, a unit, half a unit. Oh, very good. Now, your assignment, complete the lesson 13.1 on page 249 and 250. And complete problems on the lesson 13.2, but only the problem number 12 to 20. That you have here from 12 to 20 on page 252. If you want more online games, go to the description and I'm going to give you the link and playing this fraction. Okay, bye. See you in another class.